Upstate New York. The folks in Buffalo love their Bills, and a moment ago they entered to the delight of this sold-out crowd. They're set for football as their Bills will do battle with the Denver Broncos. The Bills' Stephen Hauschka's got this one teed up, and off we go from New Era Field. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Outright, this one goes to Patrick. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Flacco on the give to Lindsey. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a 1st down due to the previous penalty. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again.
3rd down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Flacco. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick, and he'll return this ball. Across midfield to the 47-yard line.
Intercepted. The Bills take over first and 70, Indy. 47-yard line.
Let's go right here now.
Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll run it with McCoy. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Down, 30 base. Check, 47. Let's go, baby. Turn
From the gun on 3rd down, Barkley. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They trail 3-0 after the INT last time led to a field goal, but now another fresh start here, 1st and 10. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Give that sack to Harrison Phillips, the big man.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Lock going to throw. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 16 yards, a first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent. And they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. I ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
Ready? 60 outlaw. What's the run? They're running it.
On 2nd and 12. Lock. This is the tight end Fant. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing his lock on 3rd down. And he's got Hireman. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They go back to the ground now with Lindsey. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. From the gun on third down, Locke. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. The sack there by Trent Murphy.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score.
60-or.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. On third down, here's McCoy. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be fourth down. On fourth down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On fourth down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. River Craycraft deep for Denver. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On second down, a run with Lindsey. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. Lorenzo Alexander brings him down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
On third down, here's Lindsey. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. To return is Roberts. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Now Barkley. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Credit the sack to Von Miller. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Barkley. Room to run past midfield. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway.
Let's go, boys. Go!
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn that because now I think
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be second and goal.
Second and goal at the 8-yard line.
Come on, set. 10-2 soft.
Right there. It's our time. It's our time.
Defense.
They look to throw. It's locked. Being chased out left. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive game. This is third and goal, still looking for the first points of the game.
Check 26, check 26. Recon, 132 fighter.
Watch twins.
Stop.
Locked now on third and goal. Touchdown, Broncos. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns third and goal into a touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now a first down carry here for McCoy. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. On 2nd and 12, Barkley. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Barkley. Flushed out. Now Barkley stripped of the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So, should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
A pass there complete to Sutton. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
On the ready.
Mark 49. I got it.
A run with Lindsey out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
The Bills' 37-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. Let's go.
Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Locke to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Throwing to start the drive. Barkley, he's got his running back, LaShawn McCoy. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now McCoy. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Back now in Buffalo. The Bills have the football, but they trail here as we begin quarter number 4. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Barkley. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sack back at the 38. Von Miller picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 16 yards, a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace, Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Barkley, pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Bradley Chubb doing what he does best, getting that sack. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Looking to throw. Barkley under pressure again, and down he goes again. Von Miller getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. That was Jordan Poyer, the safety, in for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Shotgun snap and a give to Lindsey. It's a 7-yard gain that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10. And now defensively they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Forced out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep, back over the middle. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Less than 2 minutes to play. Down to the wire we go in a 1-point game. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
At the 44-yard line.
Here we go. 60 or. Watch the screen. Pass. Look at me. Go. SOS.
On 1st down, Lindsey. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. A lot going to throw it here. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he's taken down inside the 30. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
No. There you go. 5.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run, the best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
64, weak.
Don't get nervous. Hey, check 24. Check 24.
Hit it.
On 3rd down, it's Lindsay. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a gain of 15.